Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker, earn $14.50 plus up to $425 in weekly bonuses depending on shift. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
Exmark makes the mowers that care for the lawns that set the stage for the backyard life. As the commercial mowers more landscape pros trust, Exmark mowers get you on and off the lawn without compromising cut quality, comfort, or reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life, starting at $29.99. Learn about the available finance offers and check them out today at The Mower Shop, 7400 Preston Highway, Louisville, Kentucky, 502-969-6433.
CarMax is hiring experienced auto technicians for many of its 200-plus stores nationwide. If you're looking for a job where you can make a great living while working on the cars that you love, then CarMax is the place for you. Join CarMax to grow your technical expertise and work with state-of-the-art tools and technology. Work with the cars you love. Join CarMax. Apply today at CarMaxAutotech.com.
You're listening to The Diener Show, presented by OPC Pest Services on ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Drew Diener and Mark Blakenbaker.
We are back here, 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680 as we roll along here on a Thursday, getting you ready for your weekend here, where we will have plenty going on tonight. We got Suns and Clippers, game 3 of that series. We also have we'll have every game of the NBA playoffs. I mean, from here on out, Hawks and Bucks. They're going to alternate, game times and all that. So we'll have that for you. Live play-by-play of the NBA playoffs on ESPN Louisville is presented by Bearno's Pizza, UPS Jobs, and U of L Health. So we're also recovering from John Bowles' horrifying story of fishing and blood and everything else. We got that. Watching, this is going to be Trae Young Day around ESPN. Because all his points last night and the shimmy, he made showing up.
He had 48, right?
Drew Holiday.
Is that right?
Yeah, he did. And had he not shot from 40 feet so many times, he'd have certainly gone over 50, it seemed to me, in that game. But it's been great. Like I said, the NBA playoffs are something that I have been interested in for the first time in a long time. And, it's not marquee teams. If their ratings are slightly up, somebody sent in that they're slightly up from 2019. Yeah. But to be slightly up with teams without LeBron, exactly, I think speaks pretty well for them in this postseason.
It talks. I think it just is one of those. It highlights that if you expand the net of teams, that if you say, okay, now Milwaukee's participating, now Phoenix is participating, now Atlanta's participating, that the people in LA and New York are still going to watch, and they're not going to have everybody, but the NBA fans are still going to watch, and now you're bringing into a larger pool of people. So I think that the consolidation of all the talent and all that team, I think these ratings show that there's an appetite. In these markets.
I'm reading an article from yesterday in the LA Times that 5 of last week's 7 top-rated primetime programs were NBA playoff games on TNT and ESPN.
Oh, that's great.
So NBA playoff games were 5 of last week's 7 top-rated primetime programs. That's not cable programs. I mean, that's television programs, led by TNT's coverage of that Game 7 with the Nets and Bucks. So it's an average of nearly 7 million viewers that watched Milwaukee's overtime win on Saturday. And so you've got, so they're I'm trying to see. Their playoff coverage made it the top-ranked network last week. TNT's NBA covered, averaging 3.4 million. NBC was second.
Really?
So think about that. TNT last week did better than NBC.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're probably like this too, where like for me, like I'm only going to catch a handful of NBA games during the regular season.
I really didn't care about the NBA. I haven't cared about the NBA in a long time.
But when the playoffs come, I do dig in, even in a LeBron year or a Golden State Warriors year. Like I'm still watching the NBA playoffs typically, but I don't watch a whole lot of games during the year because there's just other things going on. And if Louisville baseball was in the College World Series right now, I'm probably watching a little bit less. But so I think that plays a part of it too. But I'm definitely more intrigued when they get to the playoffs than when they're in the regular season, and I think that ratings are reflecting that right now.
All right, if you want to get in, 267-9680 is our number to get in. Text away to the UPS Jobs text line at 437-9680. You said you had a thought on name, image, and likeness again?
I was just thinking, for the collective idea of, we want to have an organized deal at Texas A&M, right? And we know we can't really work with the school, but I was wondering if, they could work together. So, Learfield is the conglomerate of for U of L. So, they sell into U of L's inventory. What if there was a Learfield type of collective that arranged all of the booster and advertising programs for the athletes?
I mean, they can't set it up. The university can't set it up. And if it's a marketing arm of the university, I'm certain they can't do that either.
But it doesn't have to go through the university. It could be a group of boosters that come together on their own.
Ooh, okay.
And then now they're operating together and they're packaging deals together. So you just look at Planet Fitness.
Sure.
You market it with a Suntan City. I'm just thinking of Rick Keever with a Buff City soap deal, right? Imagine if those are three different people. Well, now they go in and they do that together, and then an insurance company's we want to get on that board too. So it basically you can create. Well,
I think there's going to be infrastructure set up in all these places that will have to be done independently of the university. Yeah, I for sure think that's what's going to happen.
I think that's probably the best way to go. And I know that the universities can't organize it, but I think that's probably going to be the suggestion. I could see Auburn doing this now.
Well, here's the thing. Vince Tyree is going to talk about all of this tomorrow at a press conference.
Great.
So you can ask, instead of me guessing the answers to these questions, he'll have some answers, but I guarantee I think a familiar theme will be that they don't really know either, because there's been no guidance as of yet from the NCAA that they're going to have some interim rules ready to go July 1st so that no school has a competitive disadvantage. I mean, that's what they're going to kick the can down the road a little bit. They're going to say, yes, you can make it, but we're going to limit this and this for now. And then that'll get challenged. Jay Billis was on with Bob yesterday and was talking about the ruling on Monday and what that did, but we also where we go from here and what this could mean.
What the Supreme Court did was take away everything good they had in the 1984 Board of Regents ruling. It really cleaned up the circuit split now. So now the NCAA has no real protections in antitrust cases. And the next cases that come up with regard to NIL or compensation, I think the NCAA is going to lose. And it was pretty clear from the majority opinion from Justice Gorsuch and then from the concurring opinion from Justice Kavanaugh that they look at the NCAA as a cartel that is not above the law anymore, and that the language that was helpful to them in that 1984 Board of Regents case, they ruled, nope, that's just a throwaway comment. That has no force of law and no authority anymore. We're the authority, and we're telling everybody, you're screwed. And so why the NCAA did that, I will never know. I think it's the latest sign of their incompetence. I'm not surprised that we're at this point, given that the NCAA has been a serial antitrust violator over the years, and they got called out on it by the highest court in the land.
Wow, I mean, Bill is never shy about bashing the NCAA. That's for sure. But, yeah, it sort of goes back to what everybody said. They've given the roadmap to these places to go, okay, if you want to come back and sue for this violation of antitrust, then you can do that. Here, we'll rule in your favor. I mean, it's essentially seemingly what they said.
Yeah, and, I'll also go back to what Bob Valvano says a lot. Is it arrogance or ignorance that the NCAA is operating with? And I think it might be a lot of both.
Yeah.
That they were arrogant enough to think that the Supreme Court would side with them again, and ignorant enough to keep pressing forward when they knew that they were going to lose.
Let's Birdhead Ryan's on the line. If you want to get into 267-9680. Birdhead Ryan, welcome in. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I got a comment and then a question, and I'll jump off. So with Vince, being at the helm for U of L, I really think that we're in a better spot than most universities because we have an athletic director that came from the business world. And, we saw that with COVID. He kind of took the lead on some things. And, he's actually talked to the other athletic directors at their meetings. And I think you're right, Drew. He's going to have more answers than we probably are thinking. And we're going to leave that press conference tomorrow. I feel like we're going to leave the press conference tomorrow going, well, man, he's got most of this figured out, or he sure as heck is far ahead of the game than we all thought, because he's thinking more of a business person than just an athletic director running an athletic program. So I'm actually curious to see what
I just don't know that he's going to know enough from the NCAA yet. I mean, I'm sure they have spent countless hours over there getting ready for this, but until you have, what your rules are going to be able to be from the NCAA, it's going to kind of be tough to know. I think I mean, look, I think Vince is going to be as prepared as anybody with this, but I just think there's going to be so much uncertainty of where the lines are on these things.
Well, and I'm sure that he's already gone through the exercise of if this, then that, and he's already probably gone through a lot of the, if the NCAA says this is how we're prepared for it. If they say this is how we're prepared for it. So I feel pretty good that we're going to come out of this, feeling good about it. And then my comment or my question to you guys is, let's reverse back to the year right after Lamar wins the Heisman. If we have the name, image, and likeness that year, what kind of market value would you see somebody like a Lamar Jackson in Louisville getting? And I will jump off. Take care, guys.
Wait, hang on, Bertie Ryan. You still there? Hang on for a second. I was going to get his power rankings for Focus, the new flavors, because people are now coming around.
I know he likes crisp apple.
Okay, because crisp apple is my favorite, and I hate that now everybody has caught on that that's their favorite, and now it's going away faster than it used to. So it's getting very, very difficult. I mean, I'm going to have to switch my monthly shipment from cherry cola to crisp apple. That's where I'm going.
It's a big shift
with that. So
it's a big shift.
So Lamar Jackson's value, who knows? I mean, Lamar Jackson's any returning Heisman winner would have a national caliber brand.
He's on Heisman House. He's in the Heisman House right away.
Right.
And maybe he signs his Oakley deal a little sooner. Mm-hmm. Maybe he gets his Rolex sponsorship a little sooner. Wow. I mean, that's
a returning Heisman winner is crazy because you won't have that in basketball because they will just go pro after they build their brand after 1 year. A football player who has to wait 3 years after high school to do it is, an entirely different matter altogether. But a returning Heisman winner to school has national appeal.
Yeah, I mean, think about Trevor Lawrence, not a Heisman winner, but he's coming back to school and he's the number one player. Think about Tim Tebow, and these are guys that came back and played again after national championships, after major national awards. I agree. I think that, you could see Lamar right away. 3 really fast. Yeah. Oakley, Rolex, Nissan, straight away. And then whatever he does locally. And I don't even know. Would he even bother?
A guy like that at that point would need an agent. I mean, would need some kind of representation with contracts and, but I mean, it would be overwhelming for a college player.
I would think so. But, if you have your mom representing him with an attorney, you can do that. And I think you can work through the parents a lot. And I do think that eventually these guys are going to have to get certified.
Who do you think could make the most money this coming year? July 1st. Nationally.
Oh, nationally.
Nationally.
Great question, because there's not a Trevor Lawrence coming back.
Right.
Rattler at Oklahoma would be a big one.
Yeah.
I think he would be huge. Golly.
I'm trying to think. I'm going to look up last year's the Heisman Trophy. All those guys gone. Devontae Smith, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Kyle Trask. Is he?
Trask is gone. Yeah. Who's the Alabama football quarterback? I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Who is that? The Greg McElroy Part 2, I suppose. Is it Bryce Young? I don't know. I don't know.
And Kyle Trask was 4th. So I'm scrolling down some of the winners from last year. There's not really. I mean, we lost a lot of stars from college football last year.
We did. It's wide open for. Yeah. I mean, DJ. Ungule,
the Clemson QB.
The Clemson quarterback, I think you could have that. But, Bryce Young probably at Alabama, just because he's the quarterback at Alabama.
A guy who wasn't even a starter last year, you think could make the most money nationally?
Well, just think about it. You've got, when Louisville played Alabama in 2018, it was Tua, it was Jalen Hurts, and it was Mac Jones. Those are the quarterbacks there. So, you got, you talk about, the conveyor belt of we can offer this to this quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, Alabama can say the same thing to that group, to national people. Because, look, we had Jalen Hurts, we had Tua, we had Mac Jones. Now we've got Bryce Young here. We're just going to keep this thing rolling. So I think you could see that. But I do think that, nationally, those are the guys that I'm not worried about. You know, the guys you can see coming, the Zion Williams, basketball, like that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about USC talking to some backup middle linebacker and being like, look, you know, here's the president of Warner Brothers, and they'd like to talk to you.
Yeah. But I'm really who's the biggest star in college sports? I mean, Texture says Michael Penix, baby. I mean, he is maybe notable. Spencer Rattler. Yeah, it's probably him, but he's not like Trevor Lawrence. No, he's not Tim Tebow. He's not Zion Williamson. You know, that's as I'm just scrolling down in my mind. I mean, a star will develop, you know, by the end of the year. And if an underclassman wins the Heisman, my gosh, the amount of national money. I mean, right away you have Nissan. Right away you got a car. You want to win? You win the Heisman as an underclassman. Guess what? You just got yourself whatever brand of Nissan you want from the Heisman house.
I guess Sam Howell at North Carolina, you know, he's a quarterback. I mean, I think that that's a far cry from Trevor Lawrence, man. I mean, he's a quarterback at USC. Slovis, is that right?
Yeah. If you're having to ask it, as much as you follow so close. I mean, there's just not. I mean, you know, whoever has.
Yeah. Oh, you know, Justin Ross at Clemson. He's coming back from that spinal thing. I think he's going to be able to play. I mean, he's going to be a superstar, but he's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
You know, we just had a wide receiver win the Heisman Trophy. But, like, prior to October, what's the market value of Devontae Smith?
Not as good as it was after October.
Right.
Yeah.
But if he comes back after winning, like if he wins as a sophomore and comes back as a junior, probably a lot more marketable, but he's not at a quarterback position.
And you wonder, you don't want the players negotiating these deals during the season or taking the time away from, you know, what could be a distraction. But you're right. If you're going to cash in on it, a guy like Devontae Smith, his star grew heavily after, you know, the huge October, you know, late season run that he had to win the Heisman.
But Johnny Manziel won as a freshman.
No, did he?
Yeah, it was a redshirt freshman.
He's a redshirt freshman. He won the Heisman.
Redshirt freshman, and so he came back for the season.
Oh, just one more year. That's right.
One more year.
Okay, yeah.
And you know, and I mean, but can you imagine? I mean, he broke the rules anyway. You know, he talked about it. I mean, he signed autographs for money anyway in Vegas, and he talked about that. I don't know if you heard about that recently, on a podcast.
Yeah.
And he goes, he did it all over the phone, and the guy said, sign everything. Send me a photo of it. Once I get the photo, I'll give you the combination to the safe. He sent it the photo. He got the combination, and inside was the money he made. So it's like, okay, and he's like, I never met the guy. You know, I just went into the hotel room.
Wow.
Got the hotel key, signed everything, took the money.
And we're basically saying now that would be legal.
That'd be totally fine. Of course, now he could just write you a check.
Yeah, right.
He could be in the room with you.
Texture says Quinn Slazinski. Stop it.
I think Quinn has value because it's Louisville. I think the 7th or 8th player at U of L, UK has more value than the 7th and 8th player at Oklahoma in basketball.
Yeah, but
might be reversed.
But that was a joke. I mean, but yeah, there's not really. I mean, a star will develop. I mean, that's the thing. Somebody in college sports this year will become the face of college football, you know, and then they will have a far different value than they do preseason, and then do they try to cash in on that during the season? And I don't know.
Yeah, Mitch texted in and said, Mitch Hannigan says the defensive end from Oregon, Thibodeau, he's number 4 player coming in, projected for the draft. You know, you could think the top level player at Oregon is going to have a lot of value with Nike. Maryland,
Adidas is out
with Maryland and Under Armour. Like, if you're the top dog, now does Maryland have an advantage because they've got Under Armour? Does Oregon have an advantage because they've got Nike? And they can just basically say, you come here, you're going to, like, they can show that track record that you're talking about, that, you know, the top level player at Oregon or at Maryland gets that Nike and Under Armour.
We got UPS here. Yeah. I mean, if they want to jump into that game.
Yeah, if y'all want to deliver.
Yeah. By the way, we always joke about the lack of development across the street from the radio station with the suntan and laundry connection, and
no more
things out of business. The bookstore, the restaurant. Apparently, we're going to get a Target and a hotel right across the street from us in the studios. You found this from Chris Otts at DRB. The University of Louisville was working with a developer to build a 6-story Marriott-branded conference center hotel with a ground-level Target store and restaurant near the heart of its Belknap, Kansas. So this is right across the street from us. We're going to have a Target and a Marriott.
It's going to be nice.
I don't know how that fits.
What do you mean?
How do you mean?
Like it's not really a big property.
It's
kind of teeny.
Big piece.
I mean, that's if you go from the parking lot. Now the question is, where the hell is everybody going to park?
Well, they got that parking lot over there, or you can go underground like they did at Cardinal Town.
I guess you go underground.
Yeah, and it fits process because it's long.
It is elongated.
You can go the whole way, and they're going to take the Save a Step down there. I think that's what it is, all the way through Gray's bookstore to the laundry and tan.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like massive Marriott hotel. Like I said, it's going to be 6 stories.
It's going to go up.
But my gosh, what an improvement.
And it's not a full level Target. If you look at the rendering, it looks like it's a city, like an urban type of Target. So you can think you're going to have cosmetics, your essentials, a little grocery.
Now you're a Target expert.
I've seen them before. Look,
if you've seen one Target, you've seen them all. As somebody that worked there for 5 years.
It's actually, that's right. You did work at Target. But like when you go to New York City, that Target's entirely different.
Right,
Totally
but they're
different.
all built the exact same way on purpose. So there are certain things that
but
are
this one's not
right
going
way.
to be.
Right.
Because there's not enough room to be a traditional Target store over there.
But it does serve a nice need of a hotel on campus because we have a lot of visitors to this school. Like all the time.
Yeah.
You've got visitors coming in and out, professors and other things, parents that want to come and visit their kids that can't stay in the dorm. Now there's going to be a hotel, and they're not going to have to go over to the airport hotels or go downtown. That's something right on campus, and we'll be able to walk across the street to Target.
Yeah, I mean, that's
really nice.
I mean, because when you were like missing like office supplies or anything like that, it's never easy to find something that doesn't seem like on campus.
When is this due to happen?
They're voting on it today.
Oh. It'll be years.
Well, vote yes.
University of Louisville Board of Trustees is going to consider the project today. So they'll vote on it today, and then it'll be like a 2-year construction.
However long it takes to do it. Yeah, but that'll be a massive improvement because that's a valuable piece of real estate that is just looks like what doesn't belong here. Like this quadrant doesn't look like Cardinal Town to this way. The activity center that's been built, the other on-campus housing that's in and around the area. So hey, it's another development on campus at Louisville that didn't really used to have much of a campus look or feel to it, and it's gonna I think it'll be a great addition.
I loved when Barano's was in there. I loved that Barano's location because when I was a student,
there was a Barano's in there.
There was a Barano's in there for a time, but I loved it because it was like one of the few places on campus that you could buy a beer. Like you could go in there, get a pitcher of beer between classes.
Right. Well, you really can't. Like if you want to grab a beer near the radio station, you're walking blocks. You're walking, 3 or 4 blocks. We used to have that. We used to have Griff's right down from us.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Griff's was nice, but I don't know what the restaurant will be. Obviously, that's not in the story, but they'll have a restaurant there, and to have a place to stay for our visitors too.
Yeah, I guess they said they have the same thing on the UK campus. Texas says, "Have you ever seen an urban Target? You'd understand they're usually 2 to 3 floors." Texas says, "Why would U of L give up that much property to a hotel?" No, you've never clearly seen this. This is a
pretty bleeping vacant.
It's an eyesore. Yeah, it's an eyesore, and everything's vacant.
So U of L is going to lease the property.
Yeah, they're going to lease
to
it.
This thing, and then once the bonds are paid, and make sure I read this from it. So so this Provident Resources, it's a nonprofit development firm based in Baton Rouge, would build and manage the hotel until bonds financing the project are fully repaid. After that, U of L would be entitled to full ownership of the hotel or its net cash flow after expenses. So Provident
sounds like a good deal.
So Provident could operate the hotel, so U of L doesn't have to take it over and have to figure out the hotel business. They can just continue to run it, and Louisville reaps the benefit.
Yeah,
they do it for a fee. Okay.
Yeah, they're making money,
but it's U of L's.
But it's going to just look visually so much better, man.
University of Houston has a really nice program for hotels and different things like that, and they have a Marriott on campus, it's a Hilton on campus, and a lot of the students work there, and they learn the hotel business there. They learn how to do conferencing, food and beverage things, and it sounds like this is going to be a similar type of program here at this Marriott.
I think it's going to be a great addition. Yeah. All right, 267-9680 is our number to hop on in. Fitness Market, that's where I get I got my treadmill right down the hall, my Precourt treadmill, my bench and my weights. It's great to be able to get that workout in, when you don't have time to run to the gym, or you just, it's raining, something like that, or it's too hot outside sometimes to get a run in, and you want to be able to do it in your home. Fitness Market can take care of your needs, whether it's an elliptical, a rower, a treadmill, weights, electric bikes. They've got it all over at Fitness Market. You've got the 2 locations, Westport Road just inside the Snyder, Plantside Drive and Waterson Trail. It's a family business. The Whiters, it's a big family, and they're going to be, they're going to treat you like family when you talk to them over at Fitness Market. Online at thefitnessmarket.com, and be sure to tell me how to talk about them here on the Diener Show.
You're listening to The Diener Show, presented by OPC Pest Services on ESPN 680, 105.7, and 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Drew Diener and Mark Blakenbaker.
And we are back here, 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680. As we roll along, we will have Lou City. We'll have Soccer City tonight at 6 o'clock, and then Lou City on Saturday at 7:30. And you can hear it right here, Mark Blankenbaker, and it's the HEAR version of here that I want to focus on.
That's right, and if you go and get your hearing checked over there at Louisville Family Audiology, you'll be able to hear it a lot better. They'll provide you over there at Louisville Family Audiology a comprehensive and complimentary hearing evaluation. I've gone over there. Diener's done that as well, and we know that getting your hearing checked, and if it needs adjusting, is the number one modifiable risk factor to prevent dementia later on in life, because as Dr. Sweeney over there at Louisville Family Audiology tells us, your brain works harder when you don't hear clearly. And so you might have good volume but not good clarity. Mm-hmm. Get good clarity. It's just like your vision. You can see well enough, but you want to be able to see clearly from far away, from close up. Same thing with your hearing. So make it a part of your checklist. Go and listen. And have that done over there at Louisville Family Audiology. They'll take great care of you. And again, it's free to have it checked and just see where you are.
Yeah, find out where you are with Louisville Family Audiology. All right.
I would have never had any idea what what you were going with when you started opening up for that read.
Here, do you like that? Like that assist? Yeah. Not everybody can do that.
It takes a pro.
Yeah.
It takes a true professional.
Yeah, we're all just in the glow of the Target being right across the street. Patty Ice is tweeting about it.
Right.
Texas smart move by Louisville. Many campuses, rural and urban, are going this route. Win for everyone, as previously said. It helps your tourism programs within the university. Yeah,
it does.
Target Center will cater to students. You'll have the essential departments, including food and beer. There's one in Lexington at the edge of campus. So,
Florida State.
Because they're putting it right across the street from the station. That's why we're talking about it.
Florida State built a massive student housing, apartment, entertainment district with restaurants and hotels and things like that. I think it's called College Town. I don't know if that's right, but it's really well done.
Yeah,
and it's right near campus and it's walkable. And you know what? That's what U of L's needed. They've done a really good job with housing. Their on campus students are so much more in population than when I went to school there. But it is something that, the development, and that is one of those areas that was a huge opportunity. I'm glad that somebody's going to take up the project.
It's funny, I was listening to, you can pretty much book on ESPN there from about the last 10 minutes of each hour, at least in the 6 o'clock hour, they're talking some NFL. They got an NFL guest on. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, they're doing that. And so I don't remember which they were talking about, the Texans or whatever they're talking about today, but I flipped over to Fox Sports Radio to see what they were talking about. And they were talking about something that I know ESPN's morning show, Keyshawn J. Will and Zoom would not be talking about. And that was Jay Williams. So the tweet comes out, and it's quote tweeting the Celtics finalizing the deal to hire. Is it Emi Udoka? Is that how I say it? Emi Udoka.
So.
Okay. And so there's a Jay Williams tweet that says the first head coach of color for the at Celtics. and a black fist emoji. And even more importantly, he is one talented individual who has paid his dues and gives him applause. Of course, the problem is there's been like 5 black head coaches, African-American head coaches of the Celtics. And so then, oh, man, Jay, he goes, as it relates to the Boston Celtics tweet that came out from my account a couple of hours ago, I did not post that, and my passcode has now been changed. Man, come on, man.
That's bad. Because the thing is like, Jay Will, like, you made a mistake, and it's okay. You're human. You must get hacked live on the radio all the time, because you say all kinds of dumb stuff on there, and nobody, you can't say you were hacked on the radio. It just happens. Sometimes you say things that are wrong. It's okay. You're human, okay? And
it's actually the 6th African-American coach
really?
of the
Because I can think of Doc Rivers, Casey Jones, Bill Russell.
ML Carr coached the team.
Okay.
Hang on. I've got 300 pop-ups on this screen.
The pop-ups are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the other part of it, as you look for the other head coaches that are of color for the Boston Celtics, like when you're hacked.
Tom Sanders, Casey Jones, ML Carr. I've never seen more pop-ups in my life.
Pop-ups.
But it's not even close. But to go, I was hacked.
When
really?
You're hacked, what happens?
They shut your account down.
Well, also before they shut your account down, that you're not tweeting topical information.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna my account's not gonna tweet about Chris Mack and then have something about John Calipari and then you just get shut down. It's gonna be like something. Buy this iPhone. Xbox is available.
Pornography.
Yeah, pornography. Something like that. Like if you're hacked, it's something that's completely out of character for your account, not something that's staying within the conversation. Now
he got 5,000 responses to it.
Now I know you're just lying.
Yeah.
Like it's lying. Now your credibility is shot.
You get one of the replies. Hey, everyone, I just want to let you know that I did this. I dedicated the last 3 years of my life to hacking Jay Williams' Twitter account just so I could post one embarrassingly wrong tweet about his account about the coaching history of the Boston Celtics. I don't need to read anymore. That's the best one.
Right. Wow. That's hilarious. But I just don't get why you just don't say, you know what, facepalm.
Yeah.
Duh, should have had a VA.
I mean, I guess he technically didn't say he was hacked. A tweet that came from my account, I did not post that, and my passcode has now been changed. That's an interesting wording, right? Like,
well, who's in charge of your account then, Jay Will?
Is he not in charge of his account?
Are you not in charge of your account? Because it's verified. So somebody posting on your behalf, do we need to have the verification removed? I mean, that's the thing.
The Shaggy defense. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Yeah.
This is the worst Twitter hack tweet ever then.
Like nobody's hacking you to have topical information. Congratulations to the Celtics for hiring XYZ coach, and then just have something like materially wrong in it to embarrass you. Nobody's doing that. They're doing that to spread links and try to get more people to click those links to get more Twitter accounts and to to commit fraud.
I mean,
not to embarrass you.
The replies. It's worth your time to go see.
I mean, he forgot that the greatest player in the history of the Celtics was a coach. Doc Rivers is still a coach in the NBA and won a championship there.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a little over a decade ago. It's embarrassing. It's horribly embarrassing.
Yes.
But it does seem like a good hire for the Celtics.
Does it? Tell me more about it.
I have
go ahead, Mark. I have no
go ahead.
idea.
Tell me about the Nets assistant coach they hired.
From the Popovich tree, if you've spent that much time with Popovich, sign me up. If Brad Stevens is picking the guy,
we'll see.
We'll see. I mean,
we'll see. Brad Stevens never hired a coach before.
But he's stepping away. I don't think he's just going to pick somebody to just come over and take over.
We'll find out.
He's going to, because, the thing is I wouldn't want to be the coach of a team whose that coach just became the GM. Because
I think that'd be weird.
That'd be really kind of strange. So, you're going to pick somebody that's kind of like you, that you could sort of, want to steal from. So, I think, we'll see what happps here with Boston Celtics.
But that is, oh, man. I wonder if he talked about it. They have him on every day at 8 o'clock or at 7 o'clock during the playoffs because he's part of their TV coverage, so he's not doing the radio, I think, for a while. Who knows how long here. But he does call in just about every day, it seems like, so we'll have to see. Let's see. Hello, Amazon. I didn't buy that TV. My passcode has now been changed. You can still send the TV, though. Yeah.
You can still send the TV. it's
Texture
just.
said, could it be that Larry Bird is so white that he nullified the previous African-American Boston Celtics coaches? Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, man. I don't I don't know, but boy, Jay Will had to go to the – and he didn't explicitly say I got hacked. That tweet was not from me, and my passcode has since been
He's leaving
changed.
it open to interpretation.
It was from the intern, who clearly doesn't know basketball history.
Yeah, I don't –
No.
He's not turning over his Twitter account.
That's the joke.
Jay Will,
I know.
Jay
Yeah,
Will
I know.
tweeted that. He tweeted it. He made an error. He's human.
Yes.
But you own your mistakes.
Yeah.
And you just say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I love y'all. You know?
Yes, that's the
what you say.
The Blankenbaker apology.
I made a mistake. I
Yeah.
made an error. I was infused. You know, whatever it is, like you just move on. You don't double down with I'm hacked.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, how does he not remember Doc Rivers? Like, that one is.
That was super recent.
Yeah.
Right? Was Doc right
He was out in
before-
2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, it seems super recent. Gosh, it's been that long. Wow.
I guess it has been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. 267-9680 is the number to get in. Text away to the UPS Jobs text line at 437-9680, and we'll talk to you. It's still it seems like a lot of still conversation about the name, image, and likeness has been going on. What I wonder is places like IMG, where they in prep schools. I wonder how much much more training or how much more attractive those places may or may not become with their ability to connect people to advertising partners in high school or just out of high school. I mean, IMG specifically.
It's a fertile recruiting ground
Yeah.
for especially your high-level sponsors, your shoe deals, your racket deals. I think about, tennis players. And then also, like if you're a golfer and you might think about going pro, but maybe you're not really ready, but you got the sponsorship sort of looming, so you got to decide, hey, I want to leave college to get this tennis or golf sponsorship. Now you can stay in college, because you can have a Titleist sponsorship or a Pinnacle or whatever it is. I won't name a racket.
Yeah.
You can have that sponsorship and be like, you know what, I'm going to stick one more year in college. I'm going to finish up my degree. I don't know that I'm really ready to go pro, and I can also have my sponsorship for when I am ready.
Yeah.
And I actually think that it might help some of these people, complete their degrees a little bit more. I think it might keep you in college.
It could be really don't know where. I mean, but they're not going to. If you can go pro though, you're going to make so much more money in the pros than you will college. So you're going to choose that.
Absolutely, but I don't know. When did Justin Thomas leave Alabama?
I think he played all 4 years.
We'll
ask him next time he's on.
Yeah. Oh, that's tomorrow. You're going to have one tomorrow.
Every Friday.
Yeah. But, when Justin Thomas, maybe Titleist would have sponsored Justin Thomas as a sophomore. Maybe they could have seen it.
Sure.
We want to kind of, you're going to go play in the college tour here, and
I know tennis players in college that got Oakley sponsorship. I mean, they got free Oakleys. That was the sponsorship. They were playing, they were playing matches in sunglasses, and Oakley went to a couple and said, hey, and they were allowed to do that. I don't know, what the rules. This was in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but now they would probably say wear these, and we'll pay you to wear these,
right?
Because they will be, if it's a really good player and they're on the NCAA finals or something like that, that's getting some television coverage. And
but I think IMG would help, sort of start those relationships and probably even give them a little bit more of an edge in terms of getting more players down there to IMG. Because if you let's say you're a kid and you're worried about scholarship, right? And it's like, okay, we want to bring you on, but you're I guess they do a lot of student aid down there, so they kind of evaluate it. Well, now it's like, okay, but we'll bring you on, but Nike's going to pay the other half. You know what I mean?
For your scholarship, you're talking about?
Right, because maybe your family doesn't have it, but your financial aid papers say that we can't really give you all this. You know what I mean? So
what's an interesting one, because in a sport like tennis, you take 6 to play a match at least. You have 6 singles matches, 3 doubles, but they're only allowed 4.5 scholarships. So most players aren't on a full ride. Yeah, you do wonder, can they set up partnerships? Not set it up, but will there be a precedent that some tennis booster or golf booster or whatever the case may be, you can laugh at that, but there are people that have their own business that have a passion for a specific sport.
That's true.
And would be willing to, and you sort of wonder, does that happen at some schools where every other male sport besides football and basketball is not, fully funded? I mean, they're fully funded the max they can go, but there's not enough. Baseball takes 25 players travel, I think, and there's 11.7 scholarships.
Could Louisville Slugger say, "Okay, Dan, we're going to pay for 3 scholarships."
I don't think they can go to Dan. Again, I
think they can't go to Dan, but they can go and say, "We want you to go to Louisville, and we want to pay your way there."
I mean, I think they just tweeted. I just saw some player committed to Louisville baseball.
Trinity's catcher.
Okay, so what's to stop? Now that's public knowledge, when can Louisville Slugger or somebody say, "Hey, when you get to college, we're gonna chip set up something."
Like you've got a half scholarship. A lot of these guys get like a quarter scholarship or a half scholarship. What level scholarship did you get? Oh, well, you know what? Let us pay the other half of that, and we'll gear you up with Louisville Slugger.
I don't know. It's an interesting question because then but then I'm sure the university has previous partnerships set up with various. I think that's going to be the stickiest of the situations where you have individual players trying to use partnerships with that go against it's a competitor of something the university has.
Darren was talking about it with Churchill Downs and there are existing sponsorships out there at Churchill. You saw it, I think, most aggressively in the Olympics with Michael Jordan and the American flag off the drink in Barcelona. And he covered it up, the Reebok logo, because they were outfitted and required to wear contractually that outfit, but he didn't have to show the logo.
Right.
So he covered it up with the American flag, and, I wonder about things like that, the conflicts that might arise. But, I don't know. And maybe they do sponsor. Maybe a Nike comes in and sponsors a kid, and he wears Adidas on the field, but in his YouTube and Instagram he's wearing Nike. These are questions that Vince will get tomorrow. With when he has his virtual news conference on this. So I'm really, really kind of intrigued by this because it is a whole new changing world out there. There's people are going to find all these loopholes.
Oh.
Everything that we're talking about is the reason why this haphazard approach that the NCAA has to this and the individual states, all these little loopholes, all these different, there's going to be edges taken everywhere. Talk about Bob Baffert taking edges. There's going to be a lot of edges. You're going to have consolidated marketing groups. You're going to have people paying scholarships. You're going to have all these different things that are going to be in a gray area, and in the end, I think it's going to be better if the university is in control of who does what, and if they work through the universities, it's going to be a lot cleaner as opposed to keeping the universities out of it. It just will.
But again, I don't think that's the one rule they seem set on. The university cannot set it up.
But that makes it so it's ripe for corruption.
All of it's ripe for corruption.
I know. But if the schools aren't involved at all, it's really ripe for it.
But if the schools, how can it be corrupt if the schools not? You can't be punished for. Well, it goes back to like the Adidas case here with Brian Bowen. I mean, could that have been? That would have been legal.
It would have been fine. Rick Pitino didn't know about it. He didn't know about it at all.
I mean, so all this FBI, the Southern District of New York stuff,
it's out the window.
That would just be name, image, and likeness now, right?
It'd be name, image, and likeness, and the FBI can go on with actual crime.
I mean, I'm just really thinking about that would be under the rules.
We could just
Adidas set up a big deal for this player. Okay, they do it all the time.
We can go find actual criminals out there,
and they wouldn't have to make fake invoices.
Right? They wouldn't have to defraud Adidas.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have to defraud U of L. They wouldn't have to. People wouldn't have had to go to jail. We could have just done this, and it would have been fine. All right.
It's just crazy to think that all the hubbub of this, the "we have your playbook," be like, okay, you can have here. Do you want it? Here's the playbook. We'll hand you the playbook because now it would be
a bylaw,
legal.
Yeah. Assuming the NCAA actually ever
I guess
put it into bylaws.
Until you get to the bribery portion of the case, we start getting into that realm. But
what would happen to Augustine if he just took the money in that scenario? It would be theft now, right?
I guess.
Because it was supposed to go to the student athlete, but he never gave it to the student athlete. So now it becomes an unpunishable crime to a punishable crime because it would have been theft by deception.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. Golly. So now it says NCAA rules are what they – so now the NCAA's rules are what they want to punish U of L for.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, yes.
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 It's going to be the weirdest thing ever if we get in trouble and athletes can't get paid, but we get in trouble for paying because a third party paid the athlete. Yes.
I mean, so get ready. The NCAA says they're going to have these interim rules for they're going to have in the next week they're going to have to announce, but there's all those are just going to be challenged left and right by the in the legal world. So, but yeah, Emmert said yesterday that they're working on interim rules that will allow colleges to earn money off their fame and celebrity by July. So it's going to be a bridge until there's a permanent situation. So, what do you got?
The bridge until there's a permanent solution is the gray area.
Yeah,
and people are going to take massive advantage of that. Until it's set in stone, until it's across the board, there's going to be a lot of gray area, room for interpretation, and Auburn is gonna, it's gonna be crazy. Auburn's gonna take advantage of it. Texas A&M's gonna take advantage. Everybody's gonna take advantage of it. And if you're not taking advantage of it, you're behind.
Yeah.
It's like steroids. If you're not taking steroids in Major League Baseball in the early 90s,
Texas money laundering is still illegal. Yeah, the money laundering portion.
They wouldn't need to launder the
money.
No,
right. They wouldn't. The point is, they would just be able to go right to Bowen. Correct. Not even senior. You wouldn't have to deal with him. You'd go right to junior.
Man,
it's just
Kenny Johnson can just give him the money. He doesn't even have to meet him. He can just wire it to him.
No, the school can't pay.
Right.
You
keep
keep walking into that.
I keep walking in
every time you walk into the university.
You're right.
It has to be separate.
Christian Dawkins could have just given him the
Yes, now, there you go.
There we go.
All right, Blanket Baker, start putting together your pick sixes for Churchill Downs. I can see it in your eyes. You're already thinking about it.
It's going to be a fun, tough card.
Yeah.
If you can hit it, you're going to make some money out there at Churchill.
All right, and you'll hear we got Soccer City tonight. We got Inside Churchill Downs tomorrow. We got Louisville City FC on Saturday night. So we got all that going on here in the city. We got Issel and Pratt coming your way next on 680. Maben and Rummage over on 93.9. And we'll talk to you tomorrow with Mike Lindsay whenever the hell he arrives.
Make your life better with a new job at UPS. Join Team Louisville as a warehouse worker. Earn $14.50 plus up to $425 in weekly bonuses depending on shift. Search and apply now at upsjobs.com/Louisville. That's upsjobs.com/Louisville.
Exmark makes the mowers that care for the lawns that set the stage for the backyard life. As the commercial mowers more landscape pros trust, Exmark mowers get you on and off the lawn without compromising cut quality, comfort, or reliability. Exmark, official mowers of the backyard life, starting at $29.99. Learn about the available finance offers and check them out today at The Mower Shop, 7400 Preston Highway, Louisville, Kentucky, 502-969-6433.
CarMax is hiring experienced auto technicians for many of its 200-plus stores nationwide. If you're looking for a job where you can make a great living while working on the cars that you love, then CarMax is the place for you. Join CarMax to grow your technical expertise and work with state-of-the-art tools and technology. Work with the cars you love. Join CarMax. Apply today at CarMaxAutotech.com.